again, that's what I said. It's usually like a man that's not that want to be an alpha.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Peace and love, everyone. This is Tapped In Podcast. I am Osa We have Tanisha here, and we have Champ. So today's title is What's Your Number? And we are going to discuss numerology and angel numbers. Just to break it down a little bit or give a little insight on what, numbers are. As we know, we live in this matrix-like world. So numbers definitely carry a resonation and a vibration to it that brings messages. So a lot of times you may find yourself waking up and you may wake up at the same time every day and notice that number just keep talking to you. You may constantly see 1111 on the clock and feel something about it and don't know why you keep seeing this number. You may see 222 or 333 or 444. But every number has a message of resignation that is telling you something. Some type of message from your angels, some type of message from the universe. We're going to go ahead and start and talk about life path numbers. Okay, so your life path number is it's like the blueprint for your energy. It tells you who you are. Pretty much like a overall umbrella of what your purpose and your archetype is here in this lifetime. So the life path numbers range from number 1 to 9, and then it goes to the master numbers 11, 22, and 33. Each life path number is formulated through adding your birth date. Every single digit separate. So for me, my birthday is August 14th, 1988. So I would add the 8, the 1, plus the 4, plus the 1, plus the 9, plus the 8, plus the 8. And my life path number is number 3. And that means that I am known as the artist or as the speaker, which is very true for myself because I am an artist. I do write poetry. I used to rap a little bit. I used to sing in a band.
Give us some rhymes.
Girl.
Freestyle Thursday.
But I love to be on the stage and just kind of give a world view from, bringing multiple perspectives into a bigger world view and presenting that to the world. Tanisha, would you like to share what your life path number is?
My life path number is 11, and even before we get in depth with the numerology, I just wanted to give a little background in terms of where it started. Of course, this is a pseudoscience, so to speak, that was started probably they say in Babylon. Of course, Babylon is modern day Iraq, and which is also where the birth of astrology is. These two are heavily correlated, astrology and numerology, and it's not such a new topic or a new idea because a lot of time, and it's not something outside of the church, because I always have to clarify for my church people, right? A lot of times we get up. I think about times in church when the pastor's like, "Oh, we'll do this 4 times or do this 3 times." They using the science of numerology when they speak on that. When they speak, there's a lot of numerology spoke on in the Bible, but the word to say do this 4 times or do this 3 times. The earth, God created the earth in 7 days, and so that it's number 7 is a number of completion. It's a lot. It's within the Bible. So this is nothing outside of the Bible. It's nothing new under the sun, so to speak. And so what we're introducing is nothing new under the sun. And so my life path is 11, and for most of my life, I function as a 2, though. So at this point, in my maturity level, I am starting to function more as an 11, which is more self-assured. Functioning as a 2 is more nurturing. And when you have a master number, if you're not functioning in that higher purpose of that master number, you will revert to the numbers added up. So a 22 will be a 4 and a 33 will be a 6. But me, I am functioning in my 11 right now, of course.
She is indeed.
and I'm happy about that. It's always a little bit reserved to really get too in depth with having to be a teacher, leader, and advisor. I'm always a little reserved about things like that, but I don't have a problem living or leading by example. And I think, Champ, you want to share your life number?
My life number is 35. Ball number 35.
And it translates to 8.
Yeah, 3.5. 3 plus 5.
3 plus 5 equals 8.
Yep, so your life path 8, Champ. Which is the powerhouse.
The powerhouse. What?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Really?
the number 8 resonates with authority, self-confidence, inner strength, inner wisdom, social status, ego, and at the same time has to love for humanity and desire for peace.
Wow, I think that describes you to a T.
It is. And it also represents the influencer. So it shows that you do have great influence whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, it took me a long time to actually understand what it is. Took me a long time to understand the actual meaning of an influencer. You know, like they humbly like, okay, I'll be around friends. I'll be at work, this and that. So it's like, with others actually, do you actually see the influence or the effect that you have on people? So then it's like, well, you had to actually start. I had to actually start hearing it to actually understand it. It's like because I was just ignoring it the whole time. So they used to say it in high school, and then when I got out and at certain jobs, it's like you have effect on people. We want you to be in this position. We want you to be in this position. We want you to be in this position. So it's just like, nah, okay. I started understanding what people mean and like, oh, you are an influencer. I look at influencer like an entertainer, an athlete, you know what I'm saying, a role model, a mentor or something like that. And I've never looked at myself as no role model. I know.
Nobody wants that responsibility.
Yeah,
like
I don't want to be on that pedestal.
To what is it saying? To whom much is given, much is due.
Much is expected.
Right. I don't want that. I just want to, be kind of
My little
obscure,
sister
but I
told me
can't
that,
be.
like, you don't realize that you're an influencer. I'm like, I'm not an influencer. Like, I don't, but now it's just like, with more and more people saying that shit, and now it's become a thing. Like, she said that shit years ago.
Yeah,
it's like I'm not a influencer.
Because Mark is 8 too. Mark is 8.
Yeah, and I'm 8 too. So that shit, everything you said is like, yeah, I get that. Yeah. I receive that.
You got big
that.
powerhouse energy too.
Yeah.
You got big powerhouse energy too. You just Mr. Do It All,
Yeah, I get
Definitely
that.
got that high influence.
Yeah,
And one thing about influence, it doesn't have to be on a grand scale. It could just be influencing the people around you.
That
Especially
was
when
my
your
thing.
words
I didn't want
have
that.
power.
I don't. Looking at it, it's like I don't want that responsibility.
It's
to be
like a
influencing people.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because what if I'm over here? Because like, you be like, you got some ratchetness about yourself.
It's
You know
like
what
now
I'm
you got to
saying?
be judged about everything you do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't follow me.
You got to be ridiculed about every little thing about you.
Yeah.
And
You know what I'm saying?
that's going.
Yeah.
Well, that ridicule doesn't affect me. People can ridicule me all they want. It doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? Because I take ownership of. You know what I'm saying?
Your
Everything
flaws.
that I do, good and bad, I take ownership. Like, I'll tease myself, I'll laugh at myself. You know what I'm saying? I will punish myself. I'll get frustrated.
But I'm just saying. But you know what I mean? When you is seen in the light of an influencer, everybody want to throw the kids on your lap. You know what I mean? And you need to do this because you got kids watching, and you got the all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm not gonna say that I'm not for the kids, but my content and my craft is not for kids. This is not. This is you know what I'm saying. This is R-rated. And
Yeah, I've never looked at it like that, but even to look at it like that, like, oh, there's kids around this and that. Well, all right, you allow your kids
like
to be
I
around
shouldn't
me.
smoke when I'm live and all of that type of stuff.
Oh, my mama hate it.
But that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I ain't gonna
Shout out
say
to
nothing.
Shout out to my mama.
Something like that. I look at it as more as just courtesy and mannerism, not so much as like like a negative thing. It's like if people don't smoke around me, I'm not gonna smoke around them.
Like, I ain't never been in a room with your mom, so I don't see why she got a problem with me smoking. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm all for people being
Right.
exactly who they are.
Yeah, I appreciate
You
that
know.
too. Just non-judgment.
Yeah.
Kids looking at me, it's like, you gonna get a hard example. You keep on looking. You know, I'm looking at the parents.
When do I get to let my hair down
You know?
if I'm gotta be a
Yeah.
influencer, a leader?
I'd rather
a
be
role model.
hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not about to edit
Yeah.
myself for the sake of making you feel better about who I am.
Yeah.
And then, like, what about the content, like the conversation, the things that I'm talking about? You gonna throw that out the window? Just be, oh, he smokes when he. I don't want that kind of audience anyway. So that's the part. Yeah.
Right.
You
It's
want real
like
people.
when you say influence, don't allow my attributes to interfere with the message that I'm trying to give. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? You telling me to be an influencer, or you telling me that I'm an influencer, I'm looking at it like, actually, do you want me to be an influencer? Are you saying this because it's ideal for me to be an influencer versus do I want to be an influencer versus what we're saying now that it's part of my trait. So
It's
it's part of my
part of
trait.
your purpose.
Okay,
You
I
create a
accept
purpose.
it.
that.
I mean,
Right.
let's make it a little more. It's different. You know,
Right.
you don't really have a choice if it's part of your
Right.
purpose. It's part of the reason your soul agreed to come to this
But
earth.
if it's labeled like
part.
that, I'm not
You know
gonna.
what I mean?
I'm not gonna hold myself to no standard as people say you're an influencer. So now I gotta hold myself to a higher standard because people believe that I'm an influencer. Like, no, you gonna get the exact influence that I was created in.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it, right? Because this is a natural thing, right? This you was born with this. You wasn't given this. Some
Right.
people wanna be
Yeah,
an
and it's
influencer,
not.
and they try
Make
so
that.
hard, and it's
And-
like it's not even what they here
Yeah.
to do, but they
Right.
want to do that, and they and you know, so this is what you are naturally born to do. And that's just that puts a whole different spin on it. You don't
And
really have
sometimes
a
it
choice.
doesn't pop off until a certain time. You know, you're not just instantly born an influencer. You have to go through things in life. You know, you have to experience things.
You
have to
develop
develop
that. You
self-awareness.
develop that. Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
develop
the difficult part of it
This
too.
I think I was in. Yeah, I was like in 10th grade, and they had like these leadership field trips, right? And ideally, it was like the better students in school, like the ones with good grades, that's in programs and clubs and stuff like that. I'm in none of that. I'm a 1.2 student. You feel me? I'm not in no types of programs in school. I'm a class clown. I get suspended probably every other month. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Even with that though, like you may have not excelled academically, but you still had an influence.
So that was the second part. It's like when I'm going on these trips, right? It's like all these type of leadership workshop classes and conflict mediation type classes. So I had to ask because it's like the third one. So because they'll call me in the office like take this permission slip. You about to go here, this and that. So I had to ask why y'all keep on sending me because like the crowd of people that I'm around is not like my peer group that I hang around or socialize with. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, well, the teachers go around and they pick the people that have influence around their peers, right? So influence, what type of 16, what type of influence I have on my peers? Ain't none of these kids walk around here like, yeah, I want to be like Dez. You know what I'm saying? They like, I don't want to be like Dez because he gets all the attention and always getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But then they try to explain to her like, since you do have influence on your friends, like now we giving you the workshop like you can be a positive. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to gear me in the right direction. Like you know what I'm saying? You do have this about you that you influence the people around you. Like they gravitate towards you naturally. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that came from what the counselors and teachers were all discussing. They probably was in the numerology class. Like, look, this is number 8. We gonna put them over here in this program. That may happen. You know what I'm saying? You never know about these teachers and counselors. What they, but it's like I was like the student. Like the teachers either hate me or love me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, now when I get back in class, like I'm supposed to demonstrate all this stuff I learned. And then how do I do it? And versus like how is my friends is going to actually take in me being a leader or a responsible influencer around there. Like, no, man, don't do it. Don't skip class. Like, what role do y'all expect me to be in school? Is that y'all send me to this workshop to be around? But ideally, I understood like 11th grade made a completely turn around. And, you know what I'm saying, now I'm being more accepted around more kids in the school versus just my circle of friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, now I'm in class, I want Dez in lab with me. I want Dez in the group with me. This and that. Like, whoa, man, you ain't spoke to me in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? This is my 3rd year in high school. Like, y'all want me in y'all lab, in y'all little group? You know what I'm saying? But they were just like, now you're showing positivity because, you know, you're staying out of trouble, you got better grades, this and that. So back looking at it, they probably wanted me in their groups all along. But, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't want the trouble.
Yeah, they ain't want the trouble. You know what I'm saying? I was like the student, like, I could sit there and be cracking jokes or whatever, right? And the teacher want to pick on me. Well, Desmond, come up to the board and finish this problem. I get up to the board, I finish the problem, get it correct, sit back and be boasting.
Oh, that's so attention deficit.
Yeah.
So what?
I said that's so attention deficit.
See, now you open another door.
We're not going there. We
No.
just not going there.
Because see, they diagnosed me with that in 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just trying to find out what was wrong with me, so they diagnosed me with ADHD. You know what I'm saying? So that would cause the 11th grade turnaround when they put me on the Ritalin. You know, now I'm in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm calm. They sitting over here. And then it's crazy because I had to take it in the morning and afternoon. And everybody know I had to go to the office. Okay, pill game time. They're going to take his pills. And they knew when I was on it and I wasn't, when I was off it. Because they seen the drastic change. When I was off, like, man, he over there just chilling. What's wrong with him? You know? But then it's like, now when I'm projecting myself, now I'm chill, so now they be able to absorb more in me, you know, positivity versus me being around here clowning, cracking jokes, talking shit, you know, being disruptive, this and that. Now they're taking another take of me, you know what I'm saying? So now it goes into the influence, and it's like, you know what? Here, Dez over here quiet. He's over here taking notes. He done turned in a homework assignment because it got to a point that it was a round of applause in the classroom when I turned in the homework assignment. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the first person to be like, they like time to turn in the homework something. I got to go use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I'm always doing some dumb shit, this and that. So then I was like, oh, he's actually turning in the assignment. He doesn't have no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how when you run out of excuses, you start making jokes out of your excuses. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not even serious, but I got to give some type of excuse. I done ran out all the real ones, you know what I'm saying? So now
logical ones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They all ran out. So now it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a joke. So it's like, now it's like influencer. So now the teachers is like, good job, Desmond. So now it's like, how do I take it? Y'all joking or y'all for real? You know, because like, I'm not accepting it still. Like, you know, like, you supposed to be a leader in the school and stuff like that. Like, ain't no one looking up to me. But like you said, Osa, it's like, it's different ways that you can influence people. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it might not be leading by example, but it might be your interaction. What you bring out that person, you know what I'm saying? You might be a person that encourages a person, like congratulations, stuff like that. And granted, I am the type of person like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ever no hater. Somebody doing good, did a good job, I'll sit there and tell you, good job, or I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I've always been like that. So, because you want to hear it yourself. You know, you can imagine being around your friends.
And I think that that's the importance of knowing things like this is to better know yourself and understand what your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, granted, everybody has just shit, you know, to work through to, you know, to a extent. But this is what you are to aspire to, your purpose. You know, you have trauma, you go through stuff, you make mistakes, you get off track. But you know that this is the goal, you know, to materialize or to actualize these attributes within myself. That's within myself, and you know, it's up to me to bring it out and to manifest it, you know, in a positive way. So I think that's why knowing these things about yourself is important, whether you are able or in a position of, like I said, I functioned as a long time because I had kids young. So I had no choice but to become a nurturer, a mother, that type, supportive, that play that type of role. And so even in my relationship with my husband, you know, I had to be a two. And so now at this point in my life, I can, continue to aspire to my 11, which is my actual purpose. Because as I stated, if you have a master number, if you're not functioning at that high level, then you will revert to one of the singular digit numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Osa, back to you.
Okay. Well, you pretty much touched on what I wanted to add on with him, was just pretty much embracing the awareness of self. You know, so the more you know yourself, and especially utilizing these tools of, you know, numerology and the birth charts and, you know, knowing your chakra systems or whatever, just different tools that we use to become self-aware. Because when you know yourself, you have that knowledge of self, then you can, you know, step closer and to, you know, align yourself with your purpose. Right. Let's see. We can start by going down. We can break down each numerology path. Okay.
Start this one in numbers 1 through 9.
Yes, number 1 through 9. So again, it's you develop your life path number by adding every single digit in your birthday using your birth month, birthday, and the birth year. The life path number 1 represents the leader or the warrior. Okay, so this is the life path of the person who takes initiative, who is very very courageous and has no self-assured, has no problem standing out. Like this person just, always on top, like always on it. Don't need no type of influence from anybody else to do what they do. Number 2 is known as the harmonizer, and also the nurturer. So this is a person who may be in, develop the connections with in codependency. So sometimes like in relationships, like they're always attached to someone or either with children. But they have this nurture and like this intuitive energy about them. Number 3 is known as the imaginer or the performer. So these are people who, have the imagination, who have that bigger world view, who kind of alchemize different points of view to bring it to like the forefront. We have
but on number 3. Does that equal them not being really grounded? I know you're number 3, right?
I would not say
kind of being scatterbrained because
No.
that's what's everything has a positive and a negative. So of course we are going over positive attributes of these numbers, but alongside there are some negative. Like you said, number 2 has a negative attribute of being codependent, which is very accurate. You know what I mean? Because I said I functioned as a 2 for a long time.
Yeah.
And so that's a negative attribute of a 2, even though we have several positive attributes. And so
and it's not always negative. I
wouldn't
say
say
that,
negative.
So
But
when you say path number, we're talking about each number that's in our numbers.
No, all the numbers added up together to bring the total.
And then
So that total, and then if it's a 2-digit total, I should have added that. Thank you for bringing me back here.
Yeah.
But say like for yourself, when you added your birth date up, you had 35. If it's a 2-digit number at the end, you'll add each number one by one. So that 35 would be 3 plus 5, which would be life path number 8.
So what if I had? So how do you get a number 1 as a number?
the numbers gotta add up.
Yep, it'll add up to a 1 or either a 10. If it's like a 1 and a 0, that 0 will cancel out.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, so 10 will equal to what?
Yes.
I didn't think about the number 10.
But if it
I thought
stop
about
at
every other
11,
numbers.
it stays.
I swear I didn't think about 10. I'm thinking, I never thought about the number 0 when I was doing the math.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand 2 with 11. You know what I'm saying? I never thought about 10.
Yeah, or a 40, it'd be a 4 still.
Okay. Yeah.
But if it stops on a master number, which is a 11, a 22, or 23, it stops there. You don't have to add the 1 plus 1 or the 2 plus 2.
Yeah.
It just stays there.
Because I was close. Because I was at 35. 33.
All right.
But back to
33s are rare.
answering your question about the being scatterbrained as number 3. It can have maybe if you're not I don't know how to word that. If you're not really sure, if you're not tapping into your intuition, or if you're not, analyzing, because it deals with a lot of analyzing, you can, not know or not have your direction together until you truly sit with yourself and then bring the bigger picture view into the forefront. Yeah, but on average, I would say that deals more so with somebody's Mercury, in their chart. Because every number 3 is different. Just like every number, 11 and 2s are different.
Life experience.
Yeah. So let's see. Number 4. Number 4 is known as. Oh, here it says the stargazer and the builder. So this is about success, wealth, and prosperity. So they really do have that world eye view. I think they pretty much bring more of the ideas to the forefront. Number 5 is known as the explorer and the challenger. They're known as like the adventurer. So it's kind of like that Sagittarius like energy where they just, they seek to explore.
They're curious.
Very curious.
Yeah.
Very curious. Number 6. Number 6 is known as the nurturer. And also the healer. So they bring that comfort and that healing. A lot of times number 6s could have had, paths in life where they had, went through a lot. They had rocky lives, which catapulted them to transmute that energy and to become better and become that healer and become that light. So I absolutely adore number 6. Number 7 is known as the mystic, and the seeker. So these are the people who are tapped into the divine, very mystical like.
How would you define mystical? We got all type of definition of mystical. People think magical wizards.
Yes, just very otherworldly. Like something that you can't explain. Like I don't know how this person know what they know. But it's something mystical about them. Like, how do you do this? How did you manifest this?
When they say mystical, I'll be in the mind of a hippie. When a hippie
definitely.
But then they'll say something bizarre. But then if you sit back and think about it again, they said some hell of a shit.
Some
profound shit. Yeah, like it went over your head at first. Yeah. But you know what? Why did that person sit there and said it? And it was, you think about their demeanor and what was going on at the time. Like, where did that even come from?
People say that shit about me. Like I'm mysterious. Yeah, that's what they say I am. And shit.
Yeah.
Like
that could be us.
But that's more you just thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying? That's a person trying to read you and can't read you.
Yeah,
and then
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. Like I can't, yeah.
So then it'd be like mysterious. I bet you get a lot from women too. So women they just be curious. They be on it. I'm gonna read this man. Cause y'all study men's behavior patterns. But that's a good trait. I was like, I wish I could be that disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when she about to walk in the door. I know when she about to turn around. You know what I'm saying? But,
we do too. We wish y'all did too.
Huh?
We wish y'all could too.
I bet. But that's that. Y'all are mystical.
Yeah, and then it's just kind of also a thirst for knowledge. They're constantly seeking out knowledge. So, like you said, it's something about them like. Deeper. It's a depth about them because they've been constantly, trying to find a deeper.
I've been looking at that like, their third eye is HD. When they mystical, like they sit there and see stuff further than we see it. Like
that's a good analogy.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what? That looks red, but you don't even see the hole in the wall. The hole in the wall. Don't you see the squirrels? You know what I'm saying? That's how. But that's how mystical people be.
Art and everything.
Yeah, and everything. You know what I'm saying? They abstract. They got an abstract mind. You have to respect that for it. Now, just imagine you could just incorporate that in your thinking abstract. That you'll have different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Perceive stuff differently. So you'll be able to interact with not a broad, but a wide range, diverse people. Like. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. How you know? Man, look here. I've been over here. I've been around the world and shook everybody's hand once.
It's close to the divine. They tapped in, right?
Yeah.
They tapped into spirit. So they can read spirits, essentially, right? They reading spirits.
Yeah. And that's the person I'm going to be around. Like, you're going to be able to tell me what's going on in 3D around here. Like, I might be just looking at stuff in tunnel vision and you over here to have me tap in. Like, no, you looking at it wrong, man. You got to refocus.
Refocus.
All right. So next we have the number 8, which is known as the powerhouse or the figure of authority, as well as the influencer. So this is the person who always finds ways to achieve and prosper. So they're constantly creating something. It's like they're just this generator.
A serial entrepreneur type.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
finding pieces of myself in all of these numbers and shit like that.
And you could definitely find every number within yourself. Yeah. Similar to like the birth chart. We all have these signatures within us, but there's one, signature, one expression of self that stands out the most. So
it was like the last part of it was like you seek peace. And that's my number 8. So it was like peace. And I used to get that a lot.
Peacemaker.
Like, Jack come around here, he think he the peacemaker, this and that. He's always trying to mediate stuff, this and that. I don't like bad vibes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you opportunity. You're going to resolve this. Y'all going to chill. You know what I'm saying? If not, look, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to go. I'm not going to be around you. So I'm going to seek to be somewhere else. Like, I can walk into a party, right? And I'm going to look where the happy people at. You know what I'm saying? Like, no cap. Like, I see them people over there.
That's
If
how
there's
I
more
feel,
people
too.
over
Like, I
there
don't
smiling,
think-
I'm going to be over there. If,
They sit
so I
around
may
the
post like,
table.
man, you
I'm like,
guys be hugged over there. I'm not going over there.
I'm
You
going
know
with
what
the
I'm
wild bunch.
saying? Yeah, like, yo, I'm chill. They over there having fun.
Having a good time.
Right, so I'm going over there. And it's just like, I just want to come over there and fit in. You know what I'm saying? I want the vibe to be bouncing back off of me, because when I look at it, it just looks like vibes just bouncing off of people. You know, this person will laugh, and you'll sit there and see how this person interact with this person, affect that person, and then it just start going around the room. So it's like double dutch. I want to get between the rows too. Like, yeah, hit me with them vibes. Hit me with them vibes. You know, so,
That should be a side. Hit me with the vibe.
Are you like that, Mark, as an 8?
right. Did you
what?
sample that?
Are you like that as an 8?
Like what? I wasn't. I was. Am
Kind
I
of like, not the life of the party, but want to be. How do you party?
No, I don't consider myself one. I'm not the life of the party at all. I'm not. Yeah, I'm mild mannered. I'm standoffish. I'm low key type. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And it's kind of crazy, I guess, me being who I am and shit, doing all of the shit that I do. I don't really be in the spotlight. I don't like when it comes to partying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So.
But not so much partying, but this in a social gathering where, you know what I'm saying? Where,
I tend to end up being the center of attention.
Yeah,
a lot of
naturally,
times.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
But I don't insert
try.
myself. I don't want
Yeah.
myself inserting into. You know what I'm saying?
That's that
So
generator type of
Yeah.
energy. Just walking light already.
yeah, like this alternator, like.
yeah, whether people whether people know me, if they know me, then bam, there I am and shit. If they don't know
Mark
me,
here.
right? And if they don't know me, then it's like, who are you and what do you do? And then it's like, oh shit, there it is and shit like so. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. You know, it'd be just random people just start talking to me. So I was sitting there
Man, I can't go to, like, I swear to y'all, I will take y'all. I can't go to Walmart without somebody. I don't care what Walmart it is. I don't care. Somebody's going to see me in there that knows me. I'm like, I'm just got to get used to it now.
Yeah,
Shit.
Right?
yeah.
You're a whole celebrity out here, Mark.
See, that's another one that I don't really, you know what I'm saying? That influencer,
The
celebrity,
city
all
of
this
Detroit
shit.
knows who
I
Mark is.
don't, you know what I mean? Attach them type of things to myself, cause I don't.
And
It
that's
feel
good to
too
be
boastful
a
to
humble
me and shit.
spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a humble spirit, and that's how you're supposed to carry it. You know, it's not ego led. So let's see. Next, we have life path number 9. Number 9 was known as the sage, or the shaman, the person who brings revelations and clarity. Even dealing with numbers in general, 9 it's usually the like the ending number, like the ending of a cycle. So this is the person who brings that wisdom. You know, it's like the old sage that just sits there and just, you know, speaks the clarity, speaks the revelations, and can do it so effortlessly. You know,
So like somebody that's complete.
pretty much.
Wow, that's like we was talking before the
Old
start. I
souls
said I did
indeed.
did all my kids' life path numbers, and I got 2 number 9s. My 2 middle
Oh.
kids, they seem to just link up, right? Because both of them have Gemini moons,
Oh,
and
wow.
and now both of them are 9s, and that describes them so well. Like them are my confidants, right? Like I was like, oh, well, I need to talk to somebody. I have to talk to them. They are so wise, and they do. They have really good wisdom.
And that
they
Gemini
are young.
rising.
Yeah, they had that Gemini.
That's just bringing
the
the
Gemini
information. That's the
moon,
master of
it's
my
like
moon, my
weird.
bad.
I don't even understand it. But they really good communicators too. You know. So and then I have my other daughter's an 8, and so I'm learning. But she is very influential. She's able to influence people. And then my oldest son is a 1, and he really is a 1 because he'll be home in a couple months.
Now, Junior's life path number is 7.
Little baby.
Yep.
That's so
Junior.
beautiful.
Yep. He is 7.
Okay.
So he busy.
So he gonna
be
do
mystical.
the work for real.
Yeah.
He
He
gonna
gonna be
get his
tapped
daddy
in.
footsteps and take
Right.
off.
He gonna see
That's
those
why
stones. He probably already gonna be grabbing those stones.
He already like he just like the focused baby. You know what I mean? He just like
He's soaking it up,
He be
too.
zoning in on shit. Like he just he real.
Got that sponge.
Yes, definitely. I was gonna say that.
Already.
Sponge.
Already. Yeah.
Like did the numbers show negative traits about people?
They can if you're not operating in your in alignment or in your highest calling.
It's like, you know, these are the positive attributes of it, right? So, you know, where a number will show these are the bad attributes about this person. So like if you know what I'm saying, if there was a formula to sit there and tell a person these are your bad attributes, you know, that could clearly make us more aware of bad attributes that we might not be acknowledged of.
Indeed. It'll definitely be the opposite of whatever the blueprint is of it.
Oh, so if they said, "Oh, you're a powerhouse," and then, "Oh, I'm nothing out here."
I mean, not necessarily, but you may operate in a very low energy. You know, when you're not within yourself, you know, you may be more depressed because in real time, you're supposed to be this big light. You a powerhouse. But when you're not operating in your truth, you know, you may be, you know, it might be like a shadow casted over you. You know, where you just, you know, feeling real low, very dark. Maybe, you know, stay in your room. Probably got black, you know, paint on your walls. You know, you're just not really feeling it.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Shit, I like black.
And nothing wrong with black. I'm a black person myself.
I ain't started wearing black until like 3 years ago.
But having, you know, your walls, you know, color, it's a vibration with colors too. Yeah. So like people who have like black walls tend to be in depression. You know, they always like, you know, it's always dark.
I looked that up too, like the meaning of colors. You know, and they talked about red. It was more of this red this and red this. I'm like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? And I was never used to be a red fan, like a fan of wearing red colors. I always like growing up. I was like earth tone colors. I never was really into red, black, or nothing like that.
Red was always my favorite, and that's my birthstone is ruby. So
your birthstone is ruby. So I'm like, this and it's like red is powerful, and that's like the most attractive color to people is red. You know what I'm saying? The average person tunes into red than any other colors. But then I was sitting there like, you know, these corporations, they take a whole lot of psychological learning into people's brains. But I've noticed the more popular colors that come now is like blue, green. Like you go on your phone, your apps, most of your apps are blue. Rarely do you have a red app. You know what I'm saying? Rarely do you see in social media a red theme. Red theme is more of us in real life than in virtual. You know,
because red is synonymous with danger or warnings or something like, you know what I mean? Bad, like when it comes to shit like that.
But that makes sense. That makes sense because, you know, that's the most attractive color. So if you want to warn somebody, you put flash of red, and that's going to get the person attention.
Stop. Yeah.
But it's a high and low with that too, you know, because it could be deemed as something negative, but then it's also very, very positive. You know, it brings a lot of energy. It brings a lot of passion. You know, it's an element of fire, which makes things happen fast, you know, if you truly tune into it. Which is why, you know, people who have red cars, I don't know if it's still the same with insurance, but why, you know, red cars have higher insurance.
I've read that it was a false tale. Because I had brought me a red Mustang, and I was just like, my insurance was straight. Was, you know what I'm saying? I think that was more, it was a folklore than
I know it was real.
Yeah, red.
I thought it was.
You probably had a good deal.
No, when it's two parts of it. They was just like red because it's a bright color. It attracts the police officer to get pulled over. I was never pulled over in that Mustang.
Oh well, yeah.
I was never pulled over, and I had a Cobra and rims, everything dropped out. Like I was never bothered by the police.
They just had to find a way to get your money. That's all.
Yeah,
all the numbers do correlate with a color, right?
It does.
And,
yes, they do.
The numerology is a science. People really
so what
dig
does
deep
8
into
relate
this.
to?
Actually, the red is the number one, which is the leader. You know.
So what color is for 8?
8 is it's more of a light blue, a teal color.
And those, I did. Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of the colors I like.
Yep.
And they also correlate with the planets.
So it's teal, blue, or green?
Teal is like right in between.
Right here you got on.
Cause 7 is green.
That's gray. No,
this green.
That's a teal color.
This
what are
is
you
green.
talking about? Your hat is green. Your shirt
hat
is
That's
green.
another shade of green. Teal.
okay, yeah, that's not gray. That is a teal.
This is gray.
No, I'm talking about the middle one. Yeah, that's
Teal.
You know what color I say is teal? Like the bottom of Alizé. I consider that's teal.
The Alizé, that's turquoise.
Maybe.
You know why I sit there and say, y'all know the story behind Alizé? It was a chem student that created Alizé. And where he wanted to create a liquor that attracted the females.
Who did that?
It was a college student that was chem. He was just, he was in a social environment, watching party and stuff like that, and just looking into how people are drinking and their patterns of drinking. So he was just like, what if I just come up with liquor that attracted straight to females? You know what I'm saying? He's a college student to, get the girls to drink.
I mean, that
So
was
he
one of my
went
favorite
into-
colors, purple and teal.
He went into that color was where whatever study that he did was like the most attractive. So since he was a chem student, how can I create that color to a liquor? You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing is the shape of a bottle attracts for a woman to purchase liquor. You know what I'm saying? You look at most women ain't whiskey drinkers. So what do we get? A square bottle. You know what I'm saying? Something basic. When it comes to tequila, they done pulled all the shots. It's small little quart, the box. It's all dressed up, little tissue inside. The whole nine. Y'all think it's a whole present when y'all get some Patron. Like, look, I didn't open up, pull the tissue out, everything. Now I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But then it was like when we had the tea.
What's that other shit in the blue bottle that look like a goddamn lamp?
Huh?
Look at the shit in the blue bottle that look like a fucking lamp with no top and shit.
What's
No,
that?
no,
It's Casa something, ain't it?
So I don't
No,
know.
you said it looked like a lamp.
man, yeah, the
just
shit
like
with
a-
the blue and it's two colors and shit.
blue and white.
It's two different colors. It's the blue and white one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Casa something. I don't know.
That's not- it's
But
not
No,
Casamigos.
it's not Casamigos.
Oh, you talking about tequila?
I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's a tequila, yeah.
And it's
That
hard.
shit look like
Oh.
a damn lamp with no lamp.
Yeah, I know you talking about. I seen it.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I know the name of
Nostra Costa, yeah, you know,
know.
yeah. It's called Costa something. You know what you're talking about. I tried it. I was curious. I tried it. You know, like I like alcohol.
I
So,
see all kind of motherfuckers with that shit.
yeah. So granted, I'm guilty too. Like the shape of the bottles will attract me to sit there and try it. You know,
Shit, the shape of the bottle, motherfuckers that lead that shit, they got trophies all up the side of the
Man,
damn
it look like a
wall
trophy
and shit.
case. Yeah. You know. Now you sit there and see the what's that one with the big panther with all the little
Oh, I
crystals
had
in
that
it.
before.
You see the one with the gun?
Yeah,
It's
with
like
the
big
gun.
head, the-
Yeah.
like a gun.
And I'm sitting over here just like, I don't go to that extreme. This cat in a bottle. Then my homeboy, he done brought it to the club. He got the thing. I'm like, y'all trying to drink out the bottle. You can't even drink out the bottle. You spilling all over your face and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, it's not that serious, man. Like, I get curious. I buy bottles by the shape. You know what I'm saying? Just to try something new. So that usually would get you. But this whole Panther, this whole thing, y'all over here trying to drink it out the bottle and shit, feeling all over your face like, man, you doing too much, bro.
So we digress.
Yeah.
So next,
Okay,
right,
what do we have?
we can
went
have
to 9.
life path number 11.
Okay, master numbers.
Which is known, this is the first master number. This is known as the illuminator or the master healer. They're all about balance. They're very adaptable, and they're in the search for enlightenment. So they like to bring that enlightenment. They are the spark of energy. It's just like the number one enhanced. So they are that leader, but they, bring a lot of things to the forefront. So, great teachers. Next we have master number 22, which is also is known as the visionary architect, or the master builder. So this is, they are powerful communicators. They are unifiers, and they are master manifestors. Okay, so they come together and they can just build things. They can see and formulate. Were you 11 or 22?
I'm 11.
I feel like you got 22 energy. I don't know why. But
I heard 22s
So the
were
master
kinda
manifester.
ungrounded. As
yes,
well.
so they whatever they speak, they can manifest it. Like instantly.
What number is that?
A 22.
They changed my number. So that's why they.
I mean,
that's
again,
why. That's
you
why. That's
still
the power.
have
That
that power to do so, especially with you being a powerhouse. Just being conscious of your words. If you truly see it, speak it, and envision it.
Oh no, I firmly believe that.
Yeah.
I read in the auto
It's for everybody.
I believe in all that. But when you sit there and say the numbers like the master manifester, you man. So it's sitting there and be like, create 100,000 in the air. That's the master manifester. You know what I'm saying? Versus when we have to manifest, we got to go over and study, and we got to brainwash the subconscious of our mind to manifest stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you said master manifest, that took me there. It was like, man, if I'm a master, I'm looking at instant results when you sit there and say master manifestors. Like, yeah, I just spoke on it yesterday and it appeared today.
Yeah, I would relate it
Maybe not
to a magician.
No,
maybe not the
yeah, I
next
don't
day,
think-
but
yeah.
it could definitely happen in the
Yeah.
future. You know,
Yeah.
like I always said, I wanted to, have a truck, and look, I got it. You know, I said I wanted to have this, and look, I
Yeah.
got it. As a kid, I wanted this, and look around me. You know, like they really can manifest whatever they speak.
Have you ever managed? If you ever want, you thought about something and it manifested, right? And then you found out like I really didn't want that.
Man, I'm dealing with that right now,
You gotta be
right?
careful
So
what you
let me
speak.
tell you, I'm dealing with that so hardcore because when I was working in Boston and I was riding down the
You worked
freeway.
in Boston?
And
How long you worked in Boston?
probably about 6 months.
Oh,
I used to
live in
travel for
Massachusetts. Yeah, I used to
So,
live in
yeah.
Massachusetts.
So I was working in Boston, and they freeway is by the ocean. So you driving in the freeway, you just
That
so
sounds
they
beautiful.
rolled past me in a fancy car, right? I'm not even gonna say what kind of car it was, and I was looking. I was like, I want one of those, right? And so now I have an opportunity to have one of those, but now I done read all the research, I done did all the research, and they're not very reliable, right? And I'm like, do I still get this car? Because it would be like manifesting something from a long time ago. Do I still do that, even though now I know
Yeah,
it's
do
not
it. Just have the
wise?
experience.
I was like, maybe I'll just get it for 2 years or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. I'll
Yeah,
see.
just have
I'll
the
see how it
experience. You
went.
know, don't have no regrets later.
Yeah, but then I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I wanted this and I got it, and now I don't want it. I don't want to be that
At
person.
least you got the desire out of you, like and then you had that experience. You could look back. You know what? I wanted that car. Okay, it was all
And
right.
I was like,
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
kind of like, I would never, but I'm like, I'm gonna have that car one day. I saw
Yeah.
myself in it,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I need to do that today because they're not very reliable. They, they make them
But at
luxury
the bottom
cars
line,
be
at the
high
bottom line,
maintenance.
right? At the bottom line, it's how you take care of a car. You can read all the reviews in the world, and then it's that one person that drove that car for 300,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's just how you take care of it. Especially if like, granted, if you lived in a rural area, and like them old folks, no matter what kind of car they have, they drive to church, they drive to the grocery store, and they drive home, and they make long rides on Sundays afternoon and enjoy themselves. And them cars last forever. No matter what type of car. So how you treat your cars, how long is one. So when you mention about maintenance, so like some cars maintenance is higher than others,
Yeah,
but
this car has high
it's going to be
maintenance.
a long period of time between those maintenances.
You
As
hope.
far as long as how you take care of it. It's like how often do you put brake pads? How hard do you slam on the brakes? Yeah, this car's brake pads go by fast. But granted, if you hard on it, it's gonna go by fast. But if you easy on it, it's gonna last you just like any other brake pads.
Yeah, I see.
Oh,
Maybe
it
I'll see
is.
you with a new car soon.
You already said they say you're gonna manifest it.
I
But
did.
matter of
I would've
fact,
had certainly manifested
is it a certain year you want?
No.
Or is it so get an older year as a second car, just something to play in.
That is a thought because I'm gonna keep my car I have anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a thought. I still have it back
Get an
up.
older model, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got that many miles that was taken care of. Always go to the suburbs and the world to get it. So it's just your little kickback car on the weekends and you'll have it for years.
That's a good suggestion.
Now you can sit there and
We
manifest
just
it.
had a whole counseling session.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna get into this last master number.
Okay.
The last master number we have is master number 33, and they are known as the master teachers. So I have a friend who's a master number 33. Shout out to you. I ain't gonna say your name, but she always is teaching something. Like no matter if she's sharing something on Facebook, like her caption gonna be long as hell. She gonna be teaching about whatever it is. Like she always teaching. Very informative. But these people just know that they're here to teach. Knowledge is free. Knowledge should be shared. Each one teach one.
Yeah.
So I truly love that about her.
You ever notice that sometimes that turn off people? Cause I get it. Like people
wanna
don't
learn and
they don't
grow.
want to learn nothing
They
at
don't want
all.
to grow. They want to stay comfortable.
And when I
they
hear people
box.
sit there, I'm like, so you don't want to learn? So you just think you just know everything that's enough to live? So I'm like,
Some people do.
I don't understand it.
right.
Ignorance is
But
bliss.
you know what?
They're
Ignorance
happy.
is bliss.
They're happy and
That's
they're-
the
Some
point
people
of
are
it all.
satisfied as being complacent. Like, I don't need to know anymore
The more
because
you know.
they think learning more is going to
It's
be a
not
distraction
fun.
for them.
Granted, learning and especially knowledge of self is not fun because you
Why?
constantly doing work.
Knowledge
You
itself
hit
is
dark.
difficult.
You hit dark spaces when you
Yeah.
gotta really see yourself. Damn, why do I do this? Damn, I really do that. Okay, like let me correct this now. And then trying to do it and then apply it
Yeah.
and then show up different to the same people who knew you the other way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
So your whole
they have-
reality
Yeah,
gets
how
shifted.
you
People don't
said
like to wake up.
how you said that I can understand. Like, I didn't experience that, you know what I'm saying, but I overcame it because I was like, you know, this knowledge, when I started applying it, that's when it's enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Some people compile knowledge and don't apply it, and then they feel like worthless, you know what I'm saying, of no value. The value of knowledge is in application, you know? So when you be like, oh, I'm absorbing all this knowledge, this and that, start applying it, and then you'll sit there and see the use of it, you know what I'm saying? And then if you're not even applying it to yourself, like you're talking about your friend, the master teacher, this and that, they're going to take joy at this teaching and seeing someone else being able to apply it. You know, like, I helped that person out. You know what I'm saying? Well, it made them feel good. It wasn't like a service, like I'm expecting a thank you or appreciation. No, just watching you
like
apply it.
Planting the seed.
Results. Yeah.
And watching it grow.
You know? So I was like, yeah. Because I be around because, like, that's what I do for a living. I'm a teacher and instructor, this and that.
Nice.
So it's like, when I actually get in the field with it, they don't want to hear that, man. You know, because they already took the class, they got their license, the whole nine. They don't want to sit there and hear more. But I'm like, it was only so much I could sit there and teach y'all in the class. You know, here's is real life hands on, because that's textbook that y'all learn. You know, that's what the state wanted y'all to learn. Now I'm gonna sit there and show you in real form what it is. I don't want to hear. So you know, I'll be like, you grown? You grown? Are you grown?
I'm grown.
Yeah, you grown?
I'm grown.
Are you grown? What's the definition of grown?
I'm mature adult.
No, everybody has their definition. Don't be shy about it. What's your definition of
I'm
grown?
mature. I think maturity is really defining of grown, because you got a lot of people of age that are not grown.
You know
like
what I'm saying?
they're not mature and grown. They have not grown up from the image that they have created and developed as a youth. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to shed that. You know, when you were a child, you think like a child. When you become grown, then you put away childish things. And it's people today that still function as children, essentially.
You're on the right track. Definition of grown by the Webster Dictionary.
Grown is developed, then it would be.
Final stage, final growth.
Okay.
You at your final stage, final growth?
I'm not at my final stage,
You at your final stage, final growth?
It's grown because it's past tense. It's a past tense.
You at your final stage?
I'm definitely not at my final stage.
All right, so let's rewind, right?
Okay.
So you're a grown woman or a growing woman?
I'm a growing woman.
Growing woman. Boom,
I'm a
right?
growing woman.
Boom. So you imagine, right?
He makes me sick. I was gonna tell him, stop with that rhetorical shit.
English.
Right. No, because it's a message behind it. Imagine when we was like 15, when we started smelling ourselves and our ego started kicking in. That was like around the first time we was like, man, I'm grown as hell, man. I'm grown, man. This and that, right? So imagine subconsciously we was telling ourselves that we was a growing man. You know what I'm saying? So how much you actually allow in versus you sitting there telling you grown. Because when you tell you grown, you keeping stuff out.
Yeah,
you
finish.
finish.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Point you're making, right, in general, because a lot of people need to understand you're not grown, you are growing.
You are growing.
And if you're not growing, then if you grown, then you in your final stage, you're preparing for death, right? I mean,
at
so
15,
if you either living or you're not living.
And
so
realistically,
living,
when you sit there, these young men that be 15 be out here in these streets like I'm grown and be trying to imitate as a grown person, be dead within a year, 2, 3, 4 years. Because, like you said, you're dead. If you're not growing, you're dead.
That adds to the saying of, you know, that the English language is full of spells.
Yeah.
You know.
What's that mean?
Realizing.
I've never heard that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
It's word usage.
Because I have my views about the English.
It's full of. Yeah, the English language is full of spells. Period.
Yes.
Like
for example, I like how to understand.
It's a lot of root words, or just the way that things are worded, that hold a certain vibration or have a different type of definition behind it that resonates different with the universe. So when you speak it, you're not really knowing what you're saying, but you pass it a lower vibration. Just like good morning. You know, like people make fun of people that be like Grand Rising, like forget all them Grand Rising biscuit type people. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you say good morning, you're talking about morning. You're talking about death. So you're supposed to be happy to rise in the morning and wake up, not wake up morning. You know?
I heard that. I heard people say that. I heard that.
So, you know, and it's in different elements. So even what you saying grown, like instead of me saying I'm a grown woman, like no, I'm not grown. Complete. I'm a growing woman.
Because you know,
they even sound better.
They do.
Right. That's gonna sound better
but
when I say
some
it.
Words, you know how it's some words that make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like you sit there, like when you say growing, like it made you feel good to say growing
I'm a
because you
growing.
know what
Yeah,
it
that
means
sound
to
better.
grow. That you know what I'm saying. I'm better than myself.
Grown sound harsh,
You know what I'm
don't it?
saying?
It even
does.
Now it's
sound
like,
harsh.
grown.
Yeah, I never thought about that
You know what I'm
term.
saying?
It don't even sound harsh.
Yeah.
I'm grown. No, I'm growing.
But
Like you gotta,
You just
you gotta
define
meet
like
me there.
a lot of thoughts I used to think about the English language.
Oh,
you know what I'm
it's-
saying?
it's
How creative.
deep.
I was just like, it's a mutt language. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And why
that
does
point.
this language require us to use so many words to get our point across? You know, it's like when you hear foreigners, you be thinking foreigners sound retarded because they use four words to sit there and
But
say
they use
something.
very,
But it's
and I
meaningful
noticed
and it's
that.
powerful. Like, you know, you listen to Spanish, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they use a few words that is heavy. You know what I'm saying? You listen to different African languages,
yeah, I
and
dated
they
an
translate.
African guy.
It only translates to 3 words, but it takes us 7 words to say it. But it was so profound with them 3 words.
I had dated an African guy, and he spoke. They call it the Queen's English,
Queen
right?
English, British English, yeah.
British English, and they use big words, but they very detailed, right? I mean, like he'll use a word. First word he taught me was vacuous. I was like, what's this vacuous? And I'm like, he just pulling words on me. No, he not, right? So, and I'm like, what the? Look it up. So I'm like, oh, okay, because he always spoke
What
with
country
words
was
like
he from?
that. He was from Zimbabwe, and he always spoke like that. And so when I looked at it, vacuous mean empty, but not just empty. That mean totally without anything,
Kaput,
right?
like,
Just
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
No, nothing
Yeah.
is scraped. It's
So
totally
it's more
empty,
profound
right?
when he
So
said
it's more detailed
Yeah.
in one word, whereas
Yeah.
we gotta say a
Very
whole lot of
empty.
very or
it was absolutely very empty with nothing in it. Yeah,
yeah,
Versus
that's one
vacuous,
word.
just
That's
summed it all
one
up.
word,
Yeah.
right? It's vacuous. It's empty. It's nothing else to say. It's nothing else to talk about. It's like nothing.
Well, it's just funny. Like my old man, he's born and raised in Sierra Leone.
So he speaks the Queen's
Yeah,
English?
he speaks the British English, right? So you
They
imagine
use a
when
lot
I
of
grew
big
up,
words. Don't they use a lot of
man,
big words?
it's big words and it's alternative words, right? He doesn't call a toilet a toilet. He calls it commode.
Yeah.
He doesn't call pants pants. He calls it trousers. He doesn't call cookies cookies. He calls it biscuits. You know what I'm saying? So you imagine when my friends come over. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is a commode? You know. So be like, man, look here, man. The words my father used, man, you have to understand. He speaks English, but he doesn't speak English, and his native tongue is Creole. So Creole is broken. It's broken French, Portuguese, and British English. You know. So it's just like these words, like you said, like my dad will use a word and like he'll tell us to go look it up. Like man, but in schools, sit there and told us this, and that. But you telling us that we supposed to use this word. And like if you ever hear my father, he's like 74, he still has a broken accent, like a heart, like he just fresh off the boat, right? And he'll sit there and try to correct me in my English. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'll tell you my
Say
dad
that
all the time. Because you know we all teach him about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, a kid that's like practice English, he's gonna sit there and stay in his accent. Like he speaks like 4 languages, but he's just gonna stick in his accent. You know what?
I probably sit and listen to this nigga talk all day.
I would love to
Man.
hear your father speak.
Oh yeah, he gonna talk you. He's a very intellectual person. So if it's politics, English, you know what I'm saying?
Wish I had your
how
dad come on the
society
show.
and shit. I get on side if y'all
Bring
I
his
wanted,
ass
I,
on,
you know,
man.
I have cousins that are African. They live in Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana's right underneath Sierra Leone.
Yeah, my aunt married an African and traveled back to Africa and then had kids, and so they dual citizenship here and there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was going, but my cousin is in Ghana right now, so I've been waiting on him to come back. So because I wanted to have him on the show to find out why Africans don't like African Americans.
I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
why.
I know.
I'm gonna sum it up and tell you
I want
why.
to add
hear
about
from
some
them,
numbers.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
I'm
But we
gonna
wanna-
tell you why. Is because they have strong family values and they don't want their children or adapt their African American family values. If you demonstrate strong family values traditionally, they'll accept it. You know what I'm saying? My father married an American woman that has strong,
Yeah,
you
like
know
I
what I'm
said,
saying,
when I
values.
told
It's this, that's it. If you get in business and go to work, they'll be your best co-workers. You know what I'm saying? You go to school, they're going to be your best student. But then it comes to social interaction, you better have core
Some
family
core values,
values
yeah.
when it comes to accepting. You know, because I used to be like my auntie, they call me the American boy. That's the American boy. Because I'm first generation over here. Me and like 2 other cousins, well, I got 4 cousins that was born over here. All my other cousins born and raised in Sierra Leone. My dad, everybody, uncles, aunties, this and that, right? So, but you know, granted, I know my tradition. Like, they know that I stick with my Sierra Leone tradition when we in the house. But it's my other attributes outside. That's the American boy. So they'll see the switch. Like, you know, come
like
in.
the Stell song, right? The American boy.
So, so have you eaten Ghanaian food, West African food?
No, Zimbabwe is kind of, what is that, East Africa? Right by Ethiopia,
middle,
Tanzania?
Yeah, middle.
Over
yeah,
by
it's more
Lake
eastern
Victoria.
middle,
So, yeah, I love Saza.
No, like Ghana
No,
food.
well, my cousin haven't cooked for me, though.
Mm-hmm.
No, my cousin haven't cooked for me. I think, do they eat fufu?
Huh? Yeah, everybody eats food.
Yeah, football
Yeah.
good.
I don't know. I don't know.
So I want to add one more thing. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Just in case somebody is tuning in that's still interested in, you know, numerology and the numbers. One thing about numerology or your life path number, you also have a signature per the year that you're in. So you will add your birthday and the year that we're in. So it'll be, for myself, it'll be August 14th, 2023.
And you add the numbers the same way?
Yep, you add the same way. So this year, my signature is a number 2, which is the nurture. And as you know, I have a 6-month-old baby, so I'm in my nurture energy right now.
I need to do that,
You know,
see where I'm at.
Yeah, to see where you at. And every year is different. So you still have
That's
your
growth.
umbrella of who you are, but every year you still have a different
You might
energy.
be on this path this
Somewhere
year.
to- yeah.
So
and
what
a
did you
different
say? How
path
did you
next year.
come up with that number? You said
Your birthday and then the year that you're in. So you'll add 2023 with your birthday. So 7/27/23.
Okay.
That's
23.
really good information.
Yes.
Yes, I can't wait to do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what we're working on in 2023, right?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be at home like, I know my path for 2023. Y'all better clear way.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
let me
Get
get
out my way.
Don't let me get no 11, 22, or 33, because them the most powerful numbers. Y'all gonna be in trouble. Y'all better get out my way.
And
I'm
then still
throwing
be on the
balls.
lookout, you know, for the angel numbers again. I know our time is running down, but a lot of people see, you know, angel numbers. So you have like the 111 or 1111, which mean, you know, pay attention to your intuition in that moment, whatever your thoughts are. It can also mean a spiritual awakening. 222 meaning your angels are nearby. So, you know, pay attention to what's going on, but knowing that you're supported. 333 means, you know, you have that guidance there. So tune into your guidance. Your ancestors are trying to let you know I'm here to guide you. Pay attention to what you're doing. 444 is all about divine protection. It deals with stability, but also knowing that you are divinely protected. 555, the number 5 in general, deals with changes. So drastic or major changes are happening for you. So whenever you see 555, something's about to shift. Okay, 666 deals with harmony. 777 deals with divinity. 888 abundance. 999 is the ending of a cycle. And that concludes our numbers. Peace and love.
Thanks for everybody. See you next week.
Peace.
Good night and good day.
He likes
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7